Welcome everybody, it is heat number 1 here, round 1 of the F400 Sprint Series. 30 karts have lined up for this first race, proudly brought to you by Victron Energy and the Exco Group. It is a light side and we are now racing, and Tion Elof has got a great start off the line. Carl Lawrence unfortunately losing some places, they're just bogging down just a little bit. Vander Hedop goes up into second, followed by Nico. Carl Lawrence then slots himself into 4th place. And it was Andre Elof who gets around the outside from 8th up into 5th. Down through turn and number 2, we see the yellow flags up. There's contact between some of the drivers. That is car 23, 69, 22 and 77. All getting it a little bit wrong there. You can see the track conditions are a little slippery there. Some of the guys just underestimating that braking point. Back to the front, and Carl Lawrence got himself back up into 2nd place. But there's Nico having a little look on the inside as they go up through turn number 6. As we head now up towards turn number 11, it is going to be a full gas all the way over the start finish line to begin the 2nd lap. And a little protecting of the inside line. Carl has a look on the inside, and he is going to have to run wide. Just not having enough space left there by Etienne, who now is going to have a look. Going into turn number 2, goes a little bit too deep. Carl takes that place once again. And right behind there is still a Nico and Vanna looking for an opportunity to get themselves further up the order. We catch up the action and now coming through that last corner once again. You can just see how close the top 4 currently are driving together. Yellow flags going into turn number 1 as Carl leads this battle, a battle of 4 drivers. You can see the yellow flag on the outside. A kart stranded there, driver trying to get out the way, and looks like there was just about contact there between the driver on the outside. Clearly not a place that he should be. He should be trying to get that kart out of the way as soon as possible. There's a great little mid-pack battle as Vianco has a little look on the inside of Christian, moves himself up the order. A great maneuver there. You can see very congested now in the middle. These are the guys that are fighting. Down from a 10th place is Bevan Williams in kart number 30, leading this pack back up the hill. Back to the leaders, and Carl Lawrence is still in front, being followed by Tion. Out of the last corner, it is going to be a race into turn number 1. Chen has a little look on the inside, a little lunge, it's way too close, not enough space there, so he unfortunately has to pull out of that move, and that allows Nico to come through, and here comes Day Racing. Back to the battle for 5th, 6th and 7th place, and this is between Ben Harrison, Vander and Andre Elof. Down through the tunnel they go. A look to the inside, and Vander is able to get himself up the order, get himself ahead of Ben with a very, very good overtaking maneuver there. Vianco's a little bit too hot into turn 5, and just missing him is Nico Vakaludis, just managing to stay out of trouble there. And just about 3 wide as the guys head up into turn number 6. And back to the battle between Andre and Ben Harrison as they head towards turn number 2. A little look to the inside goes Andre, able to make that stick, but Ben has a little look around the outside, gets the better exit, and that will move him up the order. Carl Lawrence still leads with Nico, Tion Elof and Day Racing battling it out there for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. And you can just see how close these guys are. But Carl is just a little bit further up, and a little look to the inside. And Tion is able to get himself up into that 2nd place. And Nico unfortunately losing out there with Day Racing being able to get through there as well. So Nico was in 2nd, he is now down into 4th place. So Ben is going to have a look on the inside of Vanod, and Andre trying to go through as well, but he had to just pull out of that. As we wait for them to come out from under the tunnel, it is Vanod who gets up on the inside through turn number 5, and he now moves himself back up into 5th position. Contact between Carl and Tion going into turn number 5. Carl having a little look back just to see who that was, and going around the outside, that is Day Racing, getting himself into 3rd place, making use of those back rockers and getting himself ahead of Nico. Nico still in a 4th place. He's still going to be fighting back to try and move himself up the order. Just over 15 minutes left to go of this race, and while Carl leads, there's still a battle here between Tion and Day Racing. Day Racing having a look to the inside, and got Nico Roots in 4th place, trying to close down and get involved with this battle. Nico's going to have a look to the inside, and Tian is now dropping down into 4th place after 2 corners. Let's just see what happens when they come out from under the tunnel. And it is Day Racing. Tian has another look to the inside, and it goes ahead of Nico Rutt. Lots of smoke coming from the karts in front of them. And where there's smoke, there definitely is fire. That's kart number 72, and you can see the guys just trying to avoid him. But that's allowed Tian to move himself up the order again, go ahead of Day Racing. So Tian now moves himself up into 2nd place. We catch the action for 11th, 12th and 13th place out of turn number 6. And it is Christian and Silvio. Christian having a look to the inside, but Christian going around the outside. It allows Silvio to have a tighter line on the inside. 9 minutes to go, and Tian has got a great run, and he's got Day Racing right behind him. Carl Lawrence is now going to be losing that 1st place. Tian is going to try and squeeze him, but Carl holds that line. That's going to keep him on the inside here for turn number 2. There's contact between 1st and 2nd place. And that still allows Carl Lawrence to go through in 1st as they head under the tunnel. Both Tian and Carl really getting their elbows out. Carl on the inside. Tian trying to do a bit of a cutback. But now he's going to have to try go around the outside. But that's going to put Day Racing on the inside. Carl still holding their place. Tian squeezes back on the inside through turn number 8. They're going to head back up the hill, and you can see the oil that was on the surface. Up through turn number 11, Carl Lawrence still leads with Tian in 2nd place, and Day Racing 99 in 3rd. Tian moves to the inside. He's going to definitely win this corner. And Tian now gets himself up into 1st with Day Racing still there in the 3rd place. We did see Vanner. He's moved himself back into 4th place and looking to get into this battle. Down through turn number 3 under the tunnel. And we'll see what happens when they come out. And it's Carl Lawrence who moves himself back into 1st place. But Tian gets a much better line. Carl with the tighter inside line did carry a little bit too much speed. Day Racing's going to try go around the outside of Carl. And it does manage to, but that puts Vanner, who takes advantage of that slow exit, and he gets himself now up from a 4th place into 2nd. So Tian will cross the line in 1st place, a well-deserved win there for him. Vanner comes home in 2nd place with Day Racing in 3rd, Carl's in 4th, Rogue Racing's Nico is in 5th, Bevan 6th, Andre is 7th, Gareth 8th, Ben 9th, and then Ryan in 10th place.
A name I've never mentioned before because, to be honest, on track, I thought like maybe we're coming up to lap you. And then all of a sudden I realized I'm racing you for position for the top 3 in the F400 sprint. Luke, awesome first heat, but you've been putting a lot of work in over the December period, I'm sure?
Yeah, a little bit through earlier, closer to the start of the season.
But you found so much pace recently, and it's so nice to see you up there in front. Did you have a good race with us, myself and Tian and Werner there in the front?
Yeah, it was fun. It was competitive. It was more fun.
I'm here with the Earloff brothers, Andre and Tian. Tian, I don't really want to talk to you too much because you just gave me a hiding out there in the sprint race. But I see you getting ready to go for an endurance race as well.
Yeah, so helping out. I'm doing endurance with my friends, just hoping to have some fun, and then sprints are mainly competition and going for the championship, just hoping to enjoy the endurance and gain experience,
Andre, but how was that race for you?
I really enjoyed it. Me and Ben was in a fantastic battle, probably the most fun battle I have in karting ever.
Yeah, I've been watching your guys' Instagram and checking what you guys are doing on Facebook. I mean, you've been at the track. You put in more laps than anybody else in the entire sprint class, and it looks like it shows. You're right up there in the top 10 with us, so congratulations, bud.
Thanks very much. Hope to get up there someday.
Great to hear from some of the drivers there. It is now a lights out wheel racing heat number 2, and Tian has got a great start off the line. It is Carl who's getting bogged down there once again, but it is Luke who's now followed Tian through. Vanner in 3rd place, and that's Carl going outside of the track limits. Is that a pass outside of the track there? Carl will have to definitely have a look at that, but Carl now up into a 3rd place. There's some contact in turn number 2. 2 drivers coming together, one of them being kart number 200. That's Edward. Unfortunately, having to get out of his kart. But great shot of the drivers coming down turn number 5. Now we head up to turn number 6, and Tian Elof is starting to move a gap between Carl Lawrence, who has got himself up into 2nd place. It is Luke in 3rd. great move there for Spiro, gets himself up on the inside, and that's Racer X getting it wrong and just avoiding contact with some of the other drivers there, going through too much of a tight line, too much brakes, and that will do that to you. But still the battle out in front rages on with Tian in first, Carl in a second. Then we've got Luke starting to pull away. That's Vanner giving Nico the little look. Carl having a look into turn and number 5. He gets up on the inside. He will move himself up the order there. Ben trying to get as low as possible as he gets himself up on the inside for turn number 1. He moves himself up ahead of Ryan and gets himself up the order into a 9th place. Tian in a first has a Carl trying to go around the outside there. You can just see here on the brakes, Bevan now out in front. Carl in second place with Tian down in third. So the current race leader, Bevan Williams, 2.4 seconds over Tian. And you can see not happy with something on his kart at this point. And there we find him on the side of the track, banging the kart, not happy at all. Having just had less than 2 minutes to go of this race, and now having to retire himself. Definitely not a happy man. Tian Elof comes out of turn number 11. He will take the victory here for the second heat, followed by Carl Lawrence in a second place. Luke will come home in third with Andre Elof in fourth place. Vanna finishes in fifth. Sixth is Nico Roots. Seventh is Ben. Gareth comes home in 8th with Christian Liedenberg in 9th and Silvio in 10th place. It is heat number 3 of the Victron Energy and Exco group. Red lights are on, they are lights out, and now we are racing. Heat number 3, and it looks like all the drivers trying to get to the inside. Tian's been left wanting, they're trying to get off the line there, and it is Luke that moves himself up into first place. But Tian's going to try hold on to that extreme left, and it looks like Carl Lawrence is going to join him into the brakes, and Luke now dropping down to third place. And Nico Roots there up in fourth place as they head under the bridge, and there's contact once again. It just looks like the back of the pack just can't get through this turn number 2 cleanly. Carl Lawrence leads up the hill, and that's something we don't really see often, and that's Nutricon giving David Williams a tow up the hill. So Carl leads with Tian in second place, Nico is in third, Luke down in fourth, and Vanna in fifth place. But Vanna has got a good drive coming out of turn number 1. He's going to slot it on the inside, and it gets past Luke. So Luke now dropping down the order. Vanna's got a great exit out of turn number 1. He's going to put himself on the inside of Nico Roots going into turn number 2. They'll go single file under the bridge through turn number 3. And now we've got Henry looking to the inside at turn number 1. He's going to be able to get that car rotated in time, get himself ahead of Nico and move himself up the order. And coming through turn number 11, oh, we see that's Nico Roots off the track there. He must have made a mistake, gone a little bit too hot and ran himself wide coming out of turn number 11. They'll look to the inside, and that goes Henry. He moves himself ahead of Luke. Great maneuver there for him. Up into fourth place it goes Henry Elof. Back to the front, and it is Tian looking to the inside. He gets a great drive, starting to protect that inside. But Carl has a look, and he will squeeze himself through turn number 1. And Carl now takes the lead once again here with Tian in second place. And there's Vanner in third, who's still trying to fight back really hard here. As Tian has a look again on the inside. They're going to be too wide going under the bridge. Then coming towards turn number 5, it is Carl that goes through. But then Vanner gets himself through past Tian as well. So Tian now down into a third place. We're on the second last lap, and it is still a three-way battle here. Carl Lawrence in first place, and Tian tries to have a look on the inside, but he now gets himself up into second. They're going to be too wide through turns 7 and 8, and it's going to be whoever gets the best drive up the hill. We're now on the last lap. The back marker is ahead of them, gets out of the way, does not want to get involved, and it is Tian who moves to the inside. He's able to get himself ahead of Carl Lawrence, and it is a sprint to the line. It is Tian that will take the win. Carl Lawrence comes home in second place with Vanner in third. Another fourth for Henry. Luke finishes in fifth. Bevan in sixth place. Owen in seventh. Ben Harris in 8th and Christian Liedenberg in 9th with Gareth in at 10th place.